It always feels good when you are appreciated. SLT non-stop broadband. Free loyalty data added as you stay connected.
Tonight, spring cleaning. UNP MPs officially vote to oust party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, while Sri Lanka Freedom Party removes former President Chandrika Bandaranaike from organiser post.
He said there is no more discussion and no more vote, even though Mr. Sajid Premadasa pleaded with him and sought a poll.
Hope on the horizon. Sri Lanka's trade deficit contracts over the past year. Filling the void. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa nominates Appeals Court President Yasantha Kodagoda to the Supreme Court. In and out. Former Akurasa Pradesh Sabha chairman gets 15 years rigorous imprisonment for rape. All that and much more coming up on First at 9, this Friday the 17th of January 2020.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9.
මේ සීන් එකෙන් කට් වෙන්න ඇන්ටිජර්ම් මවුත්වොෂ් සමගින් එන ක්ලෝස් අප් ජෙල් එක ස්ටෝරි එක ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්න.
Hi.
Hi.
Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhamike Kanaika. Let's start with your local stories. Now, with many having expected the United National Party's leadership crisis to come to an end last evening, the split within the party seems to have widened into a gulf between the two main contenders, opposition leader Sajid Premadasa and leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. Following a UNP parliamentary group meeting held yesterday, MPs supporting the opposition leaders steamrolled through an unofficial vote, giving leader Wickremesinghe a taste of things to come. According to MP Dr. Harsha De Silva, 52 party members had expressed a clear consensus towards Sajid Premadasa being appointed as the leader of the party.
Yesterday's meeting, in summary, was a battle between two ideas. That one should be that the leader should have the prerogative to stay out his entire term, that is till 2024, without any challenges as the leader of the UNP. The other idea was, it is true that you are the leader of the UNP. It is constitutionally granted this term from 2019 to 2025. However, given the ground situation, should we not democratize the party in such a way that we can elect a new leader so that we can put forward a new face for the United National Party? A new face does not mean just a change of face of the leader, but the entire team and also the policies and the programs of the United National Party. So after much discussion among the members and the leader finally said there is no need for any vote to be taken here, and 95% of those who spoke to me told me that I should lead the party and try to bring Mr. Premadasa and Mr. Surya also into the fold. And abruptly he said there is no more discussion and no more vote, even though Mr. Sajid Premadasa pleaded with him and sought a poll. There is a slight difference between a vote and a poll here, I think. What he meant was a mata vimasuma, in that was an unofficial vote, so that there was no legality or no legal basis for the numbers to be sort of accepted as legally binding. But nevertheless, that would be symbolic, in that it will show what the views of the honorable MPs were. But the leader would not let us have that poll. Once he left, Mr. Ranjit Bandara proposed that Sajid Premadasa take the chair of the meeting, and also proposed that he should take the leadership of the party. And of the 65 people who were in attendance, 12 left with the honorable leader, and the remaining 52 in unison voted, or rather expressed their view that Mr. Premadasa should be the leader of the UNP. And so that is how it ended. And now what we have to do is to legitimize it. And Mr. Ajit Perra and others will, explain what the next steps are. And this is what transpired at the meeting yesterday.
In the meantime, UNP MPs expressed their views on the outcome of the meeting.
මන්ත්‍රීවරු ඉල්ලා සිටියා ඡන්දකින් නායකයා පත් කරන කැමැත්ත ගන්න කියලා. නමුත් ඒ සම්බන්ධව යම් විරෝධයක් තිබ්බ නිසා ඡන්දයක් ගන්න මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ගේ කැමැත්ත විමසුවා. මන්ත්‍රීවරු අතිබහුතරයක් 90%ක් නැගිටලා කිව්වා මේ සම්බන්ධව ඡන්දයක් තියන්න කියලා. නමුත් ඡන්දයක් නොතියා මන්ත්‍රීවරු 65 දෙනෙක් හිටියා. අන්තිමට මන්ත්‍රීවරු 52ක් ඇතුලේ ශාලාවේ හිටියා. 52කින් කැමැත්ත ප්‍රකාශ කරාම 52ම 90% සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා මේ පක්ෂයේ නායකයා විය යුතුයි කියලා තමන්ගේ කැමැත්ත මතය ප්‍රකාශ කරා. අපි එතන මත විමසුමක් ගත්තේ.
නෑ අත වශයෙන් මෙහෙම නිල වශයෙන් කිසිම දෙයක් වුන්නේ නෑ. නිල නොවන වශයෙන් උත් මං හිතන්නේ වෙන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නෑ මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී කණ්ඩායම. ඉතින් මේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමත් කතා කරා මේ අවසානයේ ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා අපි මේ ඉදිරි දිනයකදී ඉක්මනින් තීන්දුව ගමු කියලා. නායකයෝ 3 දෙනා තීරණය ගන්නවා. ඒ තීරණයට 3 දෙනාම එකගයි. සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාත් එකගයි ඒකට. රනිල් කුසුම මැතිතුමා කරු ජයසූරිය මැතිතුමාත් එකගයි. ඒ 3 දෙනා අපි බලමු හොඳ තීරණයක් ගනී සාකච්ඡාවල.
සාකච්ඡාව සාර්ථකයි. බහුතරයක් මන්ත්‍රීවරු කිව්වා නායකත්වය මාරු වෙන්න ඕන කියලා. ඒ අනුව සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වය අනුව අපි මැතිවරණ කටයුතු කරගෙන යනවා ඉස්සරහට.
හිතනවාද දැන් රනිල් මහත්තයා මේක දෙයි කියලා දීලා යයි කියලා.
කොහොමවත් අපි ඉදිරියට මැතිවරණ කටයුතු කරන්නේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වය යටතේ.
නායකතුමා ඉවත්ත කියලා.
සාකච්ඡාවේ එතුමා දිගටම හිටියා. නමුත් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන තීරණය එතුමාගේ කටින් ආවේ නැහැ. නමුත් අපි තීරණයක් ගත්තා.
හරියට තාම මේ එකමාතිකව තීරණයක් ආවේ නැහැ. නමුත් බහුතරයක් කියන්නේ 3 දෙනාම එකමුතු වෙලා යන්න කියලා. ඉතින් අපි සියලු දෙනාම ඒකට වැඩ කරනවා.
අයි තීරණයක් ගන්න බැරි වුණේ.
කියන්නේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී දේශපාලන පාක්ෂික එක මතයකට එන්න අමාරුයි. ඉතින් මේක කොහොමද කරන්න කියන එක තමයි දැන් තියෙන ගැටලුව. මොකද සියලුම චරිත අපිට අවශ්‍යයි. කොහොමත් සඳුදා නැත්තම් අඟහරුවාදා නායකතුමයි සජිත් මහත්තයයි කරු ජයසූරිය මැතිතුමයි එකතු වෙලා සාකච්ඡා කළා තමයි කිසි තීරණයකට එන්නේ. මගේ පුද්ගලික මතයේ නායකත්ව වෙනස විය යුත්තේ කවුරු ඒවා මහමැතිවරණයෙන් පසුයි.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ නායකයා කැමති වුණාද මේ තීරණයට?
නායකතුමා හිටියා පොඩ්ඩක් ඉවත් වෙලා හිටියේ. එතුමා ගියා. නමුත් මන්ත්‍රීවරු රැඳී සිටීමෙන් ඒ කටයුත්ත කරා. නායකතුමා ඒ අවස්ථාවේ හිටියේ නැහැ.
ඒ නායකතුමා ඒ නායකත්වයෙන් කොහොනේ කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. සජිත් මහා නායකත්වයෙන් අපි චන්දර යනවා.
පක්ෂ නායකතුමා ඉතා පැහැදිලිව ප්‍රකාශ කළා පක්ෂය ඊළඟ මැතිවරණයේ ජයග්‍රහණය කිරීම සඳහා කරු ජයසූරිය මැතිතුමා සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු සියලු නායකයන් බෙදීමකින් තොරව ක්‍රියා කළ යුතුයි කියලා. ඒ අනුව තමයි ඉදිරියට කටයුතු කළ යුත්තේ කියලා මතක් කරන්න කැමතියි.
එහෙනම් මොකද මේ පක්ෂේ ඡන්දයක් තිබ්බද දවසේ?
අත වශයෙන් ඡන්දයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. පාරේ යන ඕන කෙනෙකුට 10 දෙනෙක් එකතු වෙලා ඡන්දයක් තියන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් පක්ෂයකට විනයක් අවශ්‍යයි. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට විනය තදින් පවත්වාගෙන යා යුතු තිබෙනවා.
පක්ෂ නායක ධූරයේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අද තීරණයක් නැහැ.
පක්ෂ නායකයෝ තීරණය වෙන්නේ පක්ෂ මහා සම්මේලනයේ.
අද මොකද ඔබතුමාලා සාකච්ඡා කළේ?
අපි සාකච්ඡා කළේ කොහොමද ඊළඟ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණය බහුතර සිංහල බෞද්ධ ජනතාවගේ සහයෝගය ලබාගෙන ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න කියලා.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa also spoke to media regarding the outcome.
ඊයේ දිනේදී සිරිකොත මූලස්ථානයේදී පැවතුන රැස්වීමේදී අපිට දැනගන්න ලැබුණා 52කට වැඩි පිරිසක් ඔබතුමා නායකත්වයට සහයෝගය ලබා දුන්නා කියලා.
සුහදශීලීව ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී ක්‍රමවේදය තුළ සියල්ලක්ම නිරාකරණය වෙයි.
නායකතුමාගේ ආශිර්වාද මේ සඳහා ලැබෙනවද?
හැමෝගෙම ආශිර්වාදයෙන් අපි වැඩ කටයුතු කරගෙන යනවා.
ඔබතුමාට නායකත්වය නොදී එතුමා තවදුරටත් රැඳී සිටින්නේ කියන එක ජනතාව බලන් ඉන්නවා.
සීලුම දේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී විසඳයි.
Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga will no longer be the Sri Lanka Freedom Party's electorate organiser of Avantgarde as the party working committee has decided to remove her from the post. Party's General Secretary Dayasiri Jayasekara said that the party also decided to back President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in the general election with a view of obtaining a majority in Parliament. A media briefing was worked off in Colombo today to elaborate on the decisions taken by the SLFP working committee.
දේශපාලන මණ්ඩලයේදී තීන්දුව කීපයකට එළඹුණා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදුජන පෙරමුණත් එක්ක ඒකාබද්ධව ඒ වගේම අනෙකුත් දේශපාලන පක්ෂ සමග එක සන්ධානයක් යටතේ තරඟ කළ යුතුයි කියන කාරණය අපි තව තීන්දුවක් ගත්තා. විශේෂයෙන් පක්ෂයේ තීරණයන්ට පටහැනිව ක්‍රියා කරපු සංවිධායකවරු ගණනාවක් අපි ඉවත් කරා. අතනගල් ආසනයේ සංවිධායක ධූරය ලබා දීලා තිබුණා අපේ චන්ද්‍රිකා බණ්ඩාරනායක කුමාරතුංග මැතිණියගේ සංවිධායක ධූරයෙන් එතුමියව ඉවත් කරා. ඒ අනුව එතුමියට ඒ ලිපිය ඉතාම ඉක්මනින් අපි යවන්න කටයුතු කරනවා. ඒ අනුව පක්ෂයේ ඕනෑම තරාතිරමක කෙනෙකුට විරුද්ධව ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය විදිහට අපි නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න සූදානම්. ඒක තවමත් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක සම්බන්ධව අනාගතයේ තීන්දුවක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. එතුමිය ඇත්තටම අපේ පක්ෂයට විශාල සේවයක් කරපු කෙනෙක්. ඒක අපි අමතක කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ කවදාවත්. ඒ වගේම එතුමිය ගත්ත වැරදි තීන්දුවත් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒවට පක්ෂයක් විදිහට අපි මධ්‍යම කාරක සභාව දේශපාලන මණ්ඩලයේ තීන්දුවක් ගත්තම ඒ තීන්දුවත් එක්ක කොයිතරම් අකමැති වුණත් අපිට යම් එකමුතුභාවයකින් ඉන්න ඕනේ. කියන්න බෑ ඒක බලමු අනාගතේ කල්පනා කරන්න. අතනගල දැනට ලසන්තල කියවන්න මැතිතුමාට අපි බාර දීලා තියෙනවා එහි සංවිධායකවරයා විදියට වැඩ බලන සංවිධායකවරයා විදියට වැඩ කරන්න. අනිවාර්යෙන් එතුමා පොළොන්නරු දිස්ත්‍රික්කෙන් තරඟ කරනවා.
Now moving on with other stories, 5 accused in the Avantgarde floating armoury case were released from the case by the permanent High Court at Bar while granting bail to former chairman of Avantgarde, Nissanka Senadipati. Senadipati, who was arrested at the Bandaranaike International Airport on the 17th of October last year upon returning to the country, was released on a cash bail of 500,000 rupees and 2 sureties of 2.5 million rupees each. The case filed by the Attorney General's Department over the legal possession of firearms and ammunition inside the vessel MV Avantgarde anchored off the Hikkaru coast near the Galle harbour without prior licence was taken up before the court today. Accordingly, the judge bench decided to release Avantgarde Maritime Services Private Limited, Rakna Arakshaka Lanka Limited, former Rakna Lanka Chairman Major General Palita Fernando, Major General KB Egodavela and former Senior Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Defence DMS Damayanti Jayaratna. An indictment comprising 7,573 charges was filed against the defendants of the case. However, giving clarity to the decision to release 5 accused in the case, the court said that only 19 out of the total charges filed can be carried forward. Now, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has submitted the name of President of the Court of Appeal, President's Counsel Yasantha Kodagoda, to the Constitutional Council as his recommendation to the vacant Supreme Court post. Justice Jayantha Kodagoda was appointed as President of the Appeals Court in March last year. The nomination has been submitted to fill the position made vacant by the passing of Supreme Court Justice, President's Counsel Prasanna Jayawardena last month. The Constitutional Council is to subsequently consider the President's nomination before deciding who will fill the vacant chair in the country's highest court of law. In response to environmental and public concerns relating to the Chalet coal power plant, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa revealed plans to visit the controversial power plant for an inspection and engage the relevant subject ministers and engineers in order to find a binding solution to the issue. The President made these comments when he met Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit today, along with local activist groups, where he stressed the importance of alternative power and energy sources. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa met with Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, along with members of the Catholic clergy and residents of Chalet, as well as environmentalists this morning. Environmental and public safety issues surrounding the Chalet coal power plant were discussed at length. The President revealed that the company and the authorities in charge of the project will be consulted with regards to the issues. The President also revealed plans to inspect the Chalet power plant and engage the Minister of Power and Energy along with engineers to find a practical solution to the concerns. Cardinal meanwhile expressed disappointment over alleged irregularities that occurred in projects implemented with foreign investments during the tenure of the previous government. In the meantime, later on in the day, President Rajapaksa held discussions with ministerial secretaries and officials of the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. The President advised officials and secretaries to work towards proposals to centralize all state institutions' digital information in a single database in order to eliminate inefficiency, delays and corruption within the state sector. The head of state had also instructed officials to expedite the proposals to provide services and approvals online with immediate effect. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Sri Lankan Air Force possesses considerably more experience fighting terrorists compared to other air forces throughout the world. The Premier made these comments when he attended the Air Force appointment and flying badge award ceremony that took place in Trincomalee.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Air Force has a huge role to play during times of peace and not only during wartime. He made these comments during a ceremony to award commissions to Air Force officers and the presentation of flying badges to pilot cadets in Trincomalee today.
මම හිතන්නේ ලෝකේ ගුවන් හමුදා අතරින් ත්‍රස්තවාදීන්ට එරෙහිව සටන් කරලා වැඩිම අත්දැකීම් සම්භාරයක් ලබාගෙන තියෙන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ගුවන් හමුදාවයි කියලා මම. ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ යුද්ධයක් පවතින අවස්ථාවල විතරක් නෙවෙයි. සාමය පවත්න අවස්ථාවලටත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට විශාල කාර්යභාරයක් තියෙනවා ඔබට. අපි කවුරුත් දන්නවා ගම් වතුර වගේ ආපදාවන අවස්ථාව. ගුවන් හමුදාවෙන් කරන මානුෂීය මෙහෙවර ගැන. ඒ කාර්යභාරය ගුවන් හමුදාවට විස වෙන කාටවත් කරන්න බෑ.
We'll be back after this very short break. Bear with us. Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, Transparency International Sri Lanka insists that the Speaker disclose the contents of the forensic audits of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to the public and members of the Parliament. The reports were to be tabled at the Committee on Public Enterprises and debated during the previous session of Parliament. In a statement, TISL expressed concern over the decision made by the Attorney General to advise the Speaker against circulating the report openly amongst parliamentarians. Its Executive Director Ashok Obesekara says the dual role of the Attorney General as both legal advisor to the government and public prosecutor raises a potential conflict of interest as a result of the design flaw in the constitutional mandate of the Attorney General's department. He says, quote, notwithstanding the bona fides of officials in the department, in the case of the release of the forensic audit reports, it is natural for the public to question the role of the Attorney General and whether government interest align with the public interest, unquote. Obesekara goes on to say that having spent 900 million rupees of taxpayer money to produce these reports and being mindful of the fact that public scrutiny is a key driver of accountability, the reports should be made available to the public and their elected representatives. Former chairman of the Akurasa Pradesha Sabha, Sarwan Lienege Sunil was sentenced to 15 years of rigorous imprisonment by the Colombo High Court today over the rape of an underage girl in 2012. He was arrested by the Children and Women Bureau of Madhya Police in July of 2012 in connection with allegations of molesting a 14-year-old girl. The accused was also ordered to pay a fine of 25,000 rupees as well as 250,000 rupees in compensation to the victim. Delivering the sentence, Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patabendi said that it is a serious situation that the people's representatives are engaging in such acts and that this would lead to the people losing faith in democracy. Following a lengthy trial, the court declared that the charges levelled against the accused are proven beyond reasonable doubt and sentenced former chairman of the Akurasa Pradesha Sabha, Sarwan Lienege Sunil, to 15 years of rigorous imprisonment. Now, the air quality in Colombo raised eyebrows on several occasions in recent times, with today being no different. A smog looked to have enveloped the city, with some members of the public experiencing difficulty in breathing. Senior scientist of the Environmental Division at the National Building Research Organisation, Sarat Premasiri, pinned the smog on prevailing wind patterns which trap dust and other industrial emissions within the city.
We think about today air quality, particulate level, especially the PM 2.5 level, shown that some relatively high value in Colombo and suburb areas, about 100 and 150 of air quality index values. So that is the level sometimes affected to the sensitive people who are suffering from some respiratory diseases and elderly people. This is mainly because of the wind pattern around Colombo during these days. So the levels sometimes get high. Industrial emissions and other construction emissions will be the cause for this increase, but mainly due to the wind pattern around Colombo, pollutant generated from all those sources are not going away from the Colombo.
Now, Sri Lanka's trade deficit figures for the first 11 months of last year show signs of contraction, with a significant decline in imports and a marginal increase in exports. Now, this is indicated in the Central Bank's external sector report for the month of November 2019, which was released today. However, the report expects a continued recovery in the tourism sector following major setbacks in the year under review. Now, in the cumulative basis, export figures for November 2019 were recorded at $979 million, only marking only a 0.1% downturn from November 2018 figures of $980 million. The trade deficit has experienced some marginal contraction in November 2019 to $762 million compared to $785 million in November 2018. On a cumulative basis, the deficit now stands at $7.2 billion, exhibiting a contraction by $2.4 billion compared to 2018 figures. This contraction has been attributed to a faster decline in export prices than import prices for the period under review. This year-on-year deterioration in terms of trade now stands at 1.6%. This report also expects a continued recovery in the tourism sector for the year, following significant decreases on a year-on-year basis. In addition, workers' remittances too have recorded a cumulative decline during the same period. The report also adds that the country's financial account on the balance of payments was augmented with the proceeds of the 7th tranche of the IMF's Extended Fund Facility Programme and net foreign inflows into the government securities market. Earnings from merchandise exports declined marginally by 0.1% to $979 million in November 2019, with all major subsectors recording a similar trend. Earnings from agricultural exports, meanwhile, also declined in the month, exhibiting a mixed performance from its subsectors. This includes a year-on-year decline in tea exports as a result of a fall in prices in the international markets, despite export volumes of tea showing a continued increase. Earnings from spices also declined in the period, that too due to lower than expected export prices of cinnamon and low volumes of cloves and pepper. Seafood exports, meanwhile, dipped due to low demand from the US market. Industrial export earnings remained broadly unchanged compared to the same period in 2018, with rubber products declining due to low tyre exports. Earnings from textiles and garments, however, increased in the period, supported by a higher demand from the European Union and some non-traditional markets. Export earnings from gems, diamonds and jewellery also increased as volume exported under all categories increased. The export volume index in November 2019 improved by 11.6% year-on-year, while the export unit value index declined by 10.5%, indicating that the decline was driven entirely by lower prices when compared to November 2018. President of the Chartered Institute of Management Accounting, Amal Ratnayaka, puts a premium on the ability to adapt and change, as he highlights it as the key to business success in a world which is ever-changing and ambiguous. His thoughts came as SEMA celebrated its 100th anniversary this week.
A bell-ringing ceremony was worked off this week at the Colombo Stock Exchange, attended by the President of the Chartered Institute of Management Accounting, Amal Ratnayaka, and SEMA country head Zahar Ansari to mark the Institute's 100th anniversary. Speaking at the ceremony, Ratnayaka espoused adaptation and the embrace of change as the keys to success in what he termed a VUCA world, a business environment that is vulnerable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous.
Over the years, the Colombo Stock Exchange has seen many changes, and it has reimagined its purpose and adapted to the shifting needs of citizens and businesses in Sri Lanka. This transformation is reflective of Sri Lanka's dynamic culture, the spirit of a country whose people are dedicated to driving prosperity. Like you, SEMA understands the value of changing with the times. We understand the need to continuously push forward and adapt. Today's businesses operate in an increasingly complex and ambiguous world, a VUCA world. Unprecedented change and technological innovation are transforming the way we live and the way we work. And that pace of change is only getting faster.
The United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospects report predicts a possible growth in the global economy by 2.5% in 2020. However, this figure is based on hopes that geopolitical tensions or financial turmoil doesn't derail a political or potential economic recovery. However, the flip side to this scenario would involve global growth slowing to 1.8% in the year ahead, affecting sustainable development, poverty levels and employment rates. Now, the potential for this scenario is emphasized by the Chinese economy, which recorded its slowest growth rate in nearly 30 years. Official figures show that the world's second largest economy expanded by 6.1% in 2019 from the year before. While these are the worst figures in 29 years, they still remain within the Chinese government's expectation and target. It comes after almost 2 years of trade tensions with the United States. However, hopes of a better relationship with America have seen improvements in manufacturing and business confidence data. In response to the lower growth rate, the government has used the combination of measures aimed at easing the slowdown. This includes tax cuts and proposed permission for local government to sell large amounts of bonds to fund local infrastructure programs. Now looking at the markets, Sri Lankan stocks closed 0.14% weaker on volatile trade today, dragged down by Commercial Bank. The all-share price index closed 8.07 points down at 5,932.92. retreating for the fourth day and closing the week down from 5,987.55. The S&P SL20 index of most liquid stocks closed 16.16 points down at 2,791.06. The day's turnover was 600 million rupees, with prices of 40 stocks gaining while 83 fell. Commercial Bank closed 2 rupees and 10 cents down to close at 89 rupees and 90 cents per share, contributing most to the ASP's fall. However, during the week, the banking, finance and insurance sectors recorded the highest sector turnover, while the diversified sector recorded the second highest. Now let's take a closer look at how the markets fared during the week.
The ASP lost 0.9%, mainly due to price losses in counters such as Ceylon Tobacco Company, Commercial Bank and LOLC Holdings. Meanwhile, the S&P SL20 decreased by 1.4%. The average daily turnover for the week was down from last week to 1.2 billion rupees. The bank's finance and insurance sector recorded the highest sector turnover during the week, whilst the second highest was seen in diversified sector. Furthermore, the foreign participation remained active during the week, with foreigners closing as net sellers, where foreign sellings accounted for 79% of the total weekly turnover. A net foreign outflow of nearly 649 million rupees was recorded for the week. This resulted in the year-to-date net foreign outflow to increase to 782 million rupees. Out of the weekly turnover, crossings accounted for nearly 76%, which was a lower proportion than last week.
We'll see you shortly with news from overseas. Bear with us. Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump is scheduled to begin on the 21st of January. 100 lawmakers in the U.S. Senate were sworn in yesterday as the final step before the trial's commencement. In the coming weeks, the senators will decide whether President Trump should be removed from office following an expose of his part in pressuring Ukrainian lawmakers to investigate his political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden. Trump is accused of charges relating to the abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. As things wrapped up on Capitol Hill on Thursday, Trump told reporters in the White House that he thought the trial should go very quickly. Ukrainian Prime Minister Oleksiy Honcharuk has tendered his resignation following the release of a leaked audio recording apparently revealing his private criticism of President Volodymyr Zelensky's primitive grasp of economics. President Zelensky, a TV comedian and businessman, was elected last April. It remains unclear whether the PM genuinely intended to step down. According to Honcharuk, the recordings had been edited from several fragments of government meetings to create the false impression that he did not respect the president. President Zelensky's office had confirmed receiving the resignation letter and says the president will now decide whether to accept the letter or not. Now in cricket, in another match played in the Sri Lanka domestic T20 series, Colombo Cricket Club claimed a 7-wicket victory against Badurulia Sports Club. Badurulia Sports Club won the toss and elected to bat first, scoring 159 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. Malindu Pushpakumar and Wanindu Hasaranga displayed outstanding bowling performances, bagging 4 wickets each. Both Damit Pereira and Shehan Madhushanga scored 39 runs each to become the highest run scorers for Badurulia Sports Club. However, Colombo Cricket Club managed to reach the target with just 3 wickets, by just losing 3 wickets. Malindu Madhuranga scored 62 runs. At the end of the 6th match, Colombo Cricket Club stands second in Group D after claiming 5 victories and 1 loss. And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.